special event alert.
Grab your badge and run! This is Late for Changeover, your weekly space news and variety show. I'm your host, Marty Smith, and with me tonight is our little teapot, Kevin Balcone.
Go Blue.
And our man in the closet, as always, Jake Wall.
What's going on, guys? Good to see you.
We're here to bring you the latest headlines and updates pertinent to all Guardians and to the other lesser services as well. So take your seats, get informed, and have a laugh as we present Late for Changeover. Now, Mr. History is sailing the seven seas. I asked him for an update, and his satellite connection was down. So,
Is he a thong guy, you think?
oh, absolutely. He was a bodybuilder.
Guarantee it.
Of course,
Okay.
yeah. He was a
Yeah,
bodybuilder.
okay.
He
I'm
was
on
a
the same
body
page.
painter. Of course, he's no
He
stranger. He's no stranger to thongs. Let me tell you that.
He has lacquered those pores like nobody's business.
In fact, that was a post about 6 months ago. If you want to join Mr. History OnlyFans, you can see all of that. Right?
Yep.
I think he's running a Irish special. Irish.
for
I
St.
didn't know he
Patty's
wore
Day, yeah.
thongs.
Yeah. Thongs and four-leaf clover pasties, of
Like a
course.
part of me's like, I want to support him, right? But then I'm like,
Yeah.
Hey, you do want to
I
support him.
see things I can't unsee.
But, you don't want anything to come out like an Epstein report and they're like, oh, Kevin Balcom was a subscriber. Let's go talk to him.
Mhm.
My background
for your birthday, you can-
like bring it on.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
He is on Cameo, so for your birthday, Mr. History will Mr. History will do a little Irish or whatever your preferred ethnicity jig
That's true.
for you.
But
Yeah.
that's by the minute. You got to pay by the minute.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's-
I'm
I'm
that's
thinking of
a tough one.
Macarena, man. I'm thinking
Well
of
worth it.
Macarena.
Well worth it. Yeah. Well, just wait till May.
Surprisingly, that guy has no joint pain or problems or anything like that.
Oh,
Fucker.
yeah.
Whatever
Whatever his supplements are.
how you guys doing? You guys doing well? It's good to see you again, Teapot. Thanks for coming
Yeah, it's
on.
been a while. Sorry, man. I feel like after the Disney trip, it's just been like a roller coaster of illness and
Yeah, that's right. You had some shit roll through the household, which sucks.
my
man. You don't feel
son
like
was
doing
sick
anything
for like
that.
3 straight weeks. It was awful.
Oh man, that
Yeah.
sucks. Hey, he stayed home. How old is he?
3.
Oh, okay. So he hasn't started school yet, at least.
He's in preschool twice a week, and then we take him to daycare once a week, just because he needs like hanging out with boys, and because
right.
all he hangs out with is my daughters. I'm like, he needs some dudes in his life too. Like, so yeah, he goes there for a day. It's nice, man. It's really nice.
That's good.
Nice.
Expensive?
No,
Well, I want you to keep that cost in mind when we talk to some of these other
that is a
stories.
solid segue, Marty. 10 out of 10.
I like your segue. Gosh dang it.
Well, but I segued in the future because
Did you
I
write
wanted
that
to
down?
talk. I didn't. I just came up with it. You know?
Oh, wow.
But it would have been great if we had rolled right into that story. But that's not
We
for
can.
That's not 3 stories away. No, because my script I didn't write it that way, and I can't.
What is
bounce
that,
back and
Jake? What
forth.
do you got in your hand? What is that?
This is my water.
Oh.
But it is in a recycled glass. Like all my glasses, well, most of my glasses are, spaghetti jars or peach jars or whatever.
Man of the people,
Just
right
because-
there, Jake.
Well,
Man of the
early
people.
on, I adopted that mindset of way back in the day when the kids are younger, they're going to break all kinds of crap.
That's
Right?
true. Yeah.
And so I went out and bought a case of mason jars and
Really?
then a bunch of peaches. I've lost like 2 glasses since then.
Really?
Those things will break a toe before they break themselves.
There is something truly durable
Oh.
about those fucking things.
Yeah.
That's true.
and if they
It's
do
amazing.
get destroyed, who cares?
They
Right?
were
It's not
10
Aunt
cents when you got them,
Janine's
whatever. Yeah.
fucking, you know.
And
They-
you kind of look throwback when you do that shit.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean,
But this one, that's Cecily made, man. She
That's right.
handmade all these
Yeah.
ones. Yeah.
yeah, that's your
This
whiskey
one's
one.
with booze. Yeah.
All right. So last week we talked about vis-a-vis. I thought we'd talk about something that came up just because I heard it the other day, and it was a song that reminded me of coming in to jump school, right? So when I went to jump school in '87, we were part of Delta Company, and Delta's nickname was The Rock, right? And the Whispers was big at that time. And I don't remember when that song came out. I should have looked that up. We Begin to Rock Steady by the Whispers, remember?
Yeah.
And if I had really prepared this show, I would have played a little bit of that. But I could sing it for you if you'd like. But anyway,
Hey,
whenever,
but we don't want to get demonetized. Of
that's
course.
true. So whenever that song comes on, I'm like, that was our song because there was 3 of us that went through jump school. And we were like, yes, we're solid as a rock because we are Delta Rock. And it's the dumbest song to like celebrate to. But when it came out, we had just graduated. So forevermore, the Whispers, we began, or Rock Steady was my song going through jump school.
87, Marty. 87.
See, that's when we graduated jump school. Perfect.
Well, they pay the big bucks, Jake.
Thank you.
Yep. Yeah.
Thank you. I can't check.
It got to number 1 on the hot R&B / hip hop songs.
Well, I tell you, it was
Billboard.
number 1 in our hearts
Yeah.
in Fort Benning, Georgia, while we were at the strip bar after we just graduated at 3 o'clock
Number
in the
7
afternoon.
on the Billboard 100 that same year. Were the friendly ladies dancing to that song?
Yes, I will say for the show. I don't quite remember, but it was
That's probably a yes.
It was 3 o'clock in the afternoon, strippers. So it wasn't. I remember we were sitting up front, and we were all dumb and we were drunk because it was the last day. We had nothing to do. We were flying the next day, and we were sitting next to the stage, and we had our stupid little black hats that we bought at Ranger Joe's right next to it. That's along Victory Drive, which they nicknamed VD Drive because they had 4 strip bars and everything else on it. And we were sitting there, pushing each other, acting stupid. And a girl was dancing up there on the stage. And she's like, hey, can I come down on you? They're like, yeah, come on. And she stepped on the little round table that we were sitting around.
Oh, no.
And one of its legs was off. It's unbalanced. And she's like, whoa. And we were like, fuck, whoa. And so the whole song, we were trying to help her back up on the stage. And like I said, it was a 3 in the afternoon stripper. So it wasn't, wasn't cream of the crop. But that was to Rock Steady by the Whispers.
Was it?
Do you have a 3 in the afternoon or something like gentleman's club story there, Teapot?
I've never been a big. Well, I have some. I'm not putting them on record like at all. Yeah.
We went to somebody's going away at DOV, and it was at that barbecue place that in Denver. There was a barbecue place that Troy Sergeant I remember whose it was, but we all of DOV, and it was a smattering of civilians, smattering of flight suit, go to that barbecue place. Literally right over there, like there's a block next to it is like, not Diamond Cabaret, but there's that strip club up in Denver.
Like where Shotguns is?
That's yeah. And then, but there's like 3 other strip clubs right there,
there's,
right? Shotgun Willie's and some of that, right?
Like PTs or I can't remember, but you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
And so the man of the hour was like, I'm going over here. Let's go.
Nice.
And
it was his going away, right?
Yeah, it was immediately following his going away.
You were in uniform? Badass.
I wasn't there then. Yeah, I don't.
No, it was right. It was right before your time.
What? When though?
Who was NCOIC?
The short
Swick?
He shorter than it was the cop.
Hazley.
DOV. No, short black guy. He used to be a cop. Kurt, see
Jesse.
something. Yes.
God damn.
I don't know.
Jesse, I know you're talking
Connor.
He did the walk.
Jesse Connor, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh, he did the walk.
So, have you ever heard
Like,
Ivan
and
Plotter's
his flight
impersonation
cap
of
was
him?
all the way back here. Just
You
strutting
remember Ivan
around.
Plotter?
Yeah.
Yeah, of
He had
course.
the best impersonation of him ever, but he ended up having like some muscular, like nervous system issues. That's why he was like that.
Ivan?
What? Are you
No.
really?
Connor.
Yeah. Really? I had no
Ivan-
idea.
Last time I saw him, he was yoked. He was a chief in the reserves in Key West or some shit.
Of
course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Plata, Terry Whitmer, all those
Can you get Terry-
guys.
Can you get
All
Terry
those
Whitmer on
guys.
here?
Oh, my
Mayo.
God.
Mayo
Hey,
is a
let's
pretty
get the
boy,
mail
very
review. Let's get
attractive boy.
Plata, Whitmer, and we'll get who is the Australian dude?
Corey Hume.
Corey Hume. Let's get
Dude.
those three, and we'll just be the beefcake episode. You know what I
Hey,
mean?
Oh my God.
Hume got discharged after that.
And he still was
Sivers tour.
successful.
Was
Look
he?
at him, Marty. I talked about that in the Sivers podcast, did I not? When him
Yes,
and
you
Terry were
did.
like, hey, you want to go out? I'm like, fuck no, I don't want to go out. Look
Right.
at you
Yeah,
two.
dude.
Like, I can't even pick up your
Go-
scraps.
Going
Right.
on with Hume and then Joe Mordue's. We went to the church after a party
Oh
at
my
Joe
God,
Mordue's
did
house.
you really?
Yeah. And going out with Corey and Joe Mordue's husband, who is a large man in Australian Special Forces.
And
And-
the 180 of Joe.
Dude.
I mean,
And thick Australian accent.
complete opposite of Joe.
Poon was just flying. Like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, dude. And I went to the church with them and I was like, just amazed at what was
I admire them and I'm shamed by them at the same time. It's
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah, it's
Terry still looks really good, just FYI. He looks amazing.
that son
of course.
bitch.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't he?
Yeah, it's true.
Why wouldn't he?
He was so cool. I love him.
They were all cool, man.
Yeah, it
It's
was
just like,
that's the problem.
God damn it.
You can't hate them. They were amazing.
I would go home and it's like, God, I hate those guys. I'm so jealous of them. And you walk in the next day and they're the nicest guys too. And you're like, hey, can I get you some coffee?
All right. All right.
I've got such a good Terry Whitmer story. If you ever want to hear it.
Oh,
Hold it. Give me your what you said you had a song and a commercial.
Yeah.
commercial.
All right. So what is it?
So the song, I remember I got to alert and Eminem was about to release. That's his original, like My Name Is.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
and everyone was hyped because he was working with Dre. And I remember sitting on crew and I'm like, listen, like I've heard of this guy like 6 months to a year ago because he's from Detroit, right?
Right.
Like, you're not from Detroit. I'm like, I'm from Michigan and I like rap music. So I've heard of this dude. Like, he's really freaking good. I remember he dropped Hi, My Name Is. And then like a couple months later, everyone's like, oh, do you remember when? I'm like, yeah, I told you guys. And he got, whatever, 5 stars on the Source, which is like a big deal back in the day for that album. A commercial was the same unit. You remember? I love Budweiser commercials. We were like, with that.
Oh yeah. Right.
Every crew used to come in on days and we're on mids and tired, and they just start busting that out. I just remember it being so like hyped and funny. Just like, all right, yeah, I can drive home now and not worry about passing out.
It was, and
That was
even
good.
when it was overplayed, when you
Yeah.
heard somebody do it, it was still kind of funny.
Yeah.
You know? That's
Yep.
brilliant marketing. Yeah, that's brilliant. What year are you talking about? When you were at Alert?
98 to 02.
God damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll do it. All right, Jake.
Okay, so at the schoolhouse, so like third assignment, right?
Vandy. Right?
I'm there with one of my favorite majors of all time, Nate White.
Oh,
and we used to play music during student evaluations, right?
All right.
or student exercises because they would get nervous that there was no noise.
Oh,
So we
yeah,
would
yeah,
play music in the background.
yeah.
When any of this, and it was inevitable, when any of the students started just to spiral, Nate White used to find it absolutely hilarious to play Another One Bites the Dust, like on repeat. And I'm like, sir, you can't do it. And he's like, you know what time it is? Click.
Dude.
What did they do when they heard it?
No, they're
Spiral
so
even more?
No, well, they're so concentrated on.
Yeah.
They're so fixated on the missile warning, and then they know they're not doing good, and they're messing up, and there's always time criterias, and there's two guys standing basically right behind them,
right,
and we knew they were messing up, and we were just deadpan. And then
I hated that part because your internal clock is fucking in haywire mode.
Yeah,
especially
dude,
with you guys sitting
4
behind me.
hours, or this is taking 2 seconds. Yeah. So he would be like, CD, another one.
That's so good. That's so good.
Every time.
That's pretty good.
So.
That's a good come up. Here's my last one. I went to Buckley last week. And like I said, we were at the CRE doing a secret brief, and I walk into the bathroom and go up to the urinals, the bathroom that we all know. What do I see above the urinal? Now, this should be nostalgic because I see the memo with the order from the commander about not putting chew, coffee grounds, anything else in this urinal, otherwise you'll be reporting to me. And I'm like, this is 2024. I saw this same thing in 2001.
It never changes.
It's posted over every urinal and every toilet stall. I was like, my God, it's the same thing. What is wrong with crew people?
Just be like that.
Have you ever dumped anything down the urinal?
I used to dump chew back then.
Well, chew, you're spitting, like you're
right.
And I honestly don't think chew is gonna clog.
The person who does it and thinks nothing of it is, I don't know. You're either kind of a sociopath when you do that, or you're really, really dumb. And
I just don't understand. I don't think I've ever been in a situation where I'm like, I need to dump this out.
I got a whole thing of coffee grounds. I'm going right in the urinal.
Yeah, exactly. Urinal.
Hey, what am I going to do with these ramen noodles? Urinal.
Every ramen noodles. Dude. I'm pretty sure I've taken a leak on ramen noodles before.
Like
just stuck in the freaking on the pink mint.
Or if it's really fancy, it's that piss diffuser thing,
the grate.
Right?
The grate.
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah,
that's nice.
I haven't been to the MCS in like over a year. Like when I went last time, dude, them bathrooms were brutal.
Yeah.
Dude, those bathrooms were rough when it was brand new.
Right. And I think they've gone through various cleaning contracts and plumbing problems and all that other shit. And then once tours dropped off, there's like, well, we're not going to upkeep this thing like we used to. And you get stained carpet and all this. It's like, wow, this shit's looking like Aurora now. It's looking bad.
Dude, remember that really tall? He was a cleaner for a while. It was just he was a white guy, tall, didn't fit the bill of any government contract cleaning service of any of them. And we had him there for a while, and he didn't have to be escorted. And then
I don't remember the really tall guy. No.
One time I went in the bathroom and there was like a Navy chief uniform hanging up in the back stall. He before the freedom fence went up, the friendship fence went up. He was literally a Navy chief that had his own cleaning company. And
That
he
worked
got the-
over on the other side?
Yeah, there was
Worked
another
up-
white guy too who did the same thing. Yeah, I remember
Whoa.
that. Yeah.
Smartest man ever. He goes, I take my hour lunch. I come over here. I clean this stuff. I don't have to have,
Well,
like,
especially
I
if
don't have
they're
to have an escort.
if they're government
gets-
contracting to him, they're paying him a lot. Oh,
Yeah.
that's so smart.
And he was over there 3 times a week because he was already working shift over
Wow,
next door.
Man.
I was like, this is a
Yep.
brilliant move, man.
It's a brilliant move. It seems like a blow to the ego, but then you go, oh, well, look, check my wallet. And you go, fuck, yeah, smart. Smart.
Yeah, you're getting double paycheck, basically.
Yeah, but you're a Navy chief pushing a mop. You know, it's like, oh,
He did
fuck.
not care. It was 45 minutes at most, he said.
Wow.
And I was like, all right, man.
Wow. All right, so that was a nostalgia nut for
Yeah, that was
this
funny.
week. Okay, let's get to the news. Real quick, St. Patrick's Day was last Sunday, but a lot of parades occurred on Saturday. In fact, the New York one was on Saturday. So I thought this was an interesting story from Stripes.com. The Fighting 69th leads New York City's St. Patrick's Day parade for 173rd year in a row.
It's amazing.
A New York Army National Guard regiment with deep ties to Irish American history once again took the lead in New York City's St. Patrick's Day parade for the 173rd year in a row. Soldiers with the 1st Battalion 69th Infantry Regiment, the Fighting 69th, marched at the head of Saturday's parade, one of the world's largest Irish heritage parades. Okay, so let me show you. There's the Fighting 69th, right? Which is funny because when I first read it, I was like, long ties to Irish heritage, and I'm like, oh,
They're Irish as shit, man. You can't see that?
Anyway, so you picked up on that too. This year marks the return of the 800 soldier battalion to the front lines of the parade following their deployment to the Horn of Africa last year. Jeez, you get activated and go to the Horn of Africa.
Get you in the booty, Djibouti.
Djibouti.
That's a little. The Horn of Africa is a little bit south than Djibouti.
Djibouti.
Right. It's would love to know what that mission was. The regiment formed in 1849 as a New York State militia made up of Irish immigrants. 2 years later, amidst anti-Irish Catholic sentiment, they were asked to lead the parade and fend off any attackers. So you guys get up there and fend on and keep the parade route clear.
See, I tell you, look, there's that other National Guard guys that have been activated to patrol the subway. Now they're fending off people at the parade.
Well, that was let's see, that was in 1849.
Oh, okay.
That's how they started, right?
New York setting a precedent.
The day began with an Irish whiskey toast at 6 a.m. at the historic Lexington Avenue Armory. Soldiers adorned their uniforms with sprigs of boxwood to emulate their Irish American predecessors who fought at the Battle of Fredericksburg during the Civil War, while officers of the unit received blackthorn fighting sticks, considered the mark of an Irish leader and gentleman, according to a New York National Guard news release. Before dawn, they marched in formation to St. Patrick's Cathedral, where they attended a mass to remember the regiment's fallen and to honor its heritage. Then the parade began in earnest. So, look, that's kind of scary that they put those guys out in front, right? It's like,
Yeah.
oh, hey, you guys have bolts in those weapons? I hope not, because maybe they're going from the parade right down to the subway.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's pretty good. Damn it.
I don't know.
That's valid.
So there's a little eyes right. Okay, now this next one, I don't want to be nitpicky, but I'm going to be nitpicky.
Do it, Marty.
So that's part of the brigade marching. Now, what I notice of that
Oh, here we go.
is that you have mixed uniforms.
Yeah.
Right? Now, the only thing I can think of is the guys with that new kind of pink and green uniform, that old World War II uniform. They're
Yeah.
probably the ones that came off of active duty, I would imagine. Right?
Oh,
Because they
yeah,
already
they
had
got
them.
Yeah.
Right? The National Guard guys have the old uniform, which used to be the dress blues, but now it's just, it was the old Army Class A service. But you got them mixed up. Now, I would have thought you'd be like, okay, all you guys with brown and tan, you guys be together. I don't care if it's your
Yeah.
squad or not, but it'll look better. It won't look so mishmash, all right? Anyway, that was my take on it.
My only issue is they're not like I want them to be shortest to tallest. That's whatever my ick is. Like I don't care about anything else. Why aren't they?
That's an Air Force thing. That is definitely an Air Force thing because the Army never did shortest to tallest.
And I don't even like. I'm not a big like pop and circumstance guy. But I'm like, damn, y'all couldn't go like shortest to tallest. Like give everyone a view. Shit.
I agree with that one. It is an Air Force thing, but
It is.
I can line it up, man. Just
Yeah.
and it looks good.
Fair.
It's like a perfect slope.
But this one has no shortest to tallest. It has
you got that
uniforms.
one guy up there, like 8 foot tall, and everybody else is
that thing's
5'5".
Like
You can see his whole face above everybody else.
Maybe everybody except that guy 2/3 of the way down, who's also 6'5". Maybe everybody else is 5'7" in that fucking thing, and they're like, "Oh shit."
The drill instructor is like, "Damn it, Spaz! Every time, every time, just keep tapping. I don't know if I'm taller than him. You're taller than him. Get up.
You're not. Can you see over his hat? I know you guys are wondering what is a sprig of boxwood. You ask, right?
I was
very curious.
Well, I found this on backstoryradio.org, and I thought it was interesting. So, in December, backstoryradio.org. In December 1862, Union and Confederate troops met at Fredericksburg, Virginia. At the end of 4 days of fighting, there was no ambiguity about which side had won. Fredericksburg is remembered as one of the most lopsided Confederate victories of the entire conflict. One Union charge in particular, the assault on a Confederate protected hill behind a stone wall, would amount to more or less a suicide mission for the unit selected to lead it, a unit made up largely of Irish immigrants called the Irish Brigade, known by the appropriately emerald green flag its soldiers carried into battle. That's the 69th. That winter's day in Fredericksburg, the brigade's battle-worn flag was making its way back to New York for some much-needed repair, so the troops instead put sprigs of green boxwood in their caps to identify their Irish heritage. Nearly half the brigade were casualties at Vicksburg. 545 of 1,200 men were killed, wounded, or missing. But in the years after the war, it was commonly said that no one showed more bravery in the face of certain death than the troops who had marched on the hill with the greenery in their hats. So that's where that comes from.
nice.
I thought that was pretty interesting.
That's 173 years, dude. That's awesome.
Yeah. Now, I know you're also asking, hey, Marty, what are blackthorn fighting sticks? Right?
I imagine those like tongs from
It's a shillelagh. It's
Oh.
a shillelagh.
Okay.
Right? The blackthorn is found throughout Ireland and the British Isles and has been prized for centuries as a material for premium walking sticks. The most well-known incarnation of the classic blackthorn stick was the Irish shillelagh, a tool that was so fearsome in trained hands that the English outlawed it. To circumvent the law, the Irish modified the shillelagh into the classic walking stick that we are familiar with today. So they were beating English ass with that thing.
That's nice.
That looks like the Native American weapons too, right? Where they had
Kind
the
of.
big ball on the end.
Yeah.
That looks very similar.
Now I was going to do a video by some of these armor manufacturers that made shillelaghs, but they were just outlandish. This guy's just whacking shit and beating the shit out of stuff with that thing. So I was like, and it just had this hardcore music, and I was like, that's too much.
Yeah.
That's too much.
Okay.
So the 69th it's interesting because that 69th Regiment has a long history to it, and it went up through all the world wars. This is I found this. That was a recruitment, a World War I recruitment flyer for the 69th Infantry. It was pretty interesting.
Huh.
They're like, hey, don't be drafted into some regiment where you don't know anyone. Come and join us. Go die for your country.
Go
with
to the
your
front
friends.
with your friends.
I thought that was pretty neat. I thought that was pretty interesting. So
This is
That's
pretty
actually
much
pretty cool. Yeah.
this is the current Army's enlistment strategy right here.
kind of, yeah, it kind of is.
Mhm.
It's
Go to
like,
bring
the
your
Army
buddy.
with
My
your
buddy's
friends.
Blind. Like,
We'll
bring them
give
anyway.
you
We'll
a
figure
medal.
it
someone's like, "We'll give you a car. Come on in."
Yeah.
You know, I ran across a story about how they're trying to figure out how to pay the lower ranking of the military, and they can't quite figure it out without screwing that whole scale up. So they're talking about incentives. They're talking about up in BAH, and it's just like, oh my god, man, it's
How
gonna be
about
a
give them
mess. It's gonna be a
them
mess.
good shit on base? That's all. Like, that's it.
Kinda. That's what they're all hoping
Yeah.
for, right? That's what they're all asking for.
And I don't necessarily Air Force, but like, how many Army Force are just in the middle of nowhere, man? Like, what options do you
true.
have
True.
out of post? So, like, give them some good shit on base.
Well-
They'll be good.
There was a time where you could go to the commissary and significantly save over Safeway, King Supers, anything
Yep.
you wanted. You're like, I am saving $50-$60 by shopping here. And then AFES is up and up and up, and they're like, oh, I'm just saving tax. I'm still
Yeah.
paying the
I
same
still think
shit.
it's a little cheap. I think it's still cheaper. The Costco and the Safeways of the world, man. Like,
The supply chain's too good.
yeah, you can't.
Yeah.
Costco especially, man. Like, I'll buy meat at Sam's Club, but it's almost always Costco. Whatever they got going on,
Yeah.
man, is like,
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
You know,
Yeah.
I'm a Kirkland signature man through and through.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. And we don't have a huge family. It's like 4 of us, but we're still like fucking Costco.
Is Kirkland
Let's go.
Sam's or Costco?
That's
Costco?
Costco.
What's
It's
Sam's?
the Costco
brand.
Oh, that's Walton's brand, right?
I just
Sam's
bought.
Club, right?
They don't sell it at Costco anymore. There's a Kirkland signature single barrel that Barton came out with, and it's
Really?
a liter for $37. You can go to a liquor store here for $37. It drinks like a $90 bottle. That's
You're
the kind of
kidding.
stuff. If you go to the northern Costco that sells liquor inside it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
They have a $55 bottle of Larceny barrel proof. Before Costco had it, you were paying $70-$80, and it was worth it. They have it there for $55. It is exceptional. Like, that's the kind of stuff that Costco does, man.
Yeah.
Do you
Like,
get-
people who know,
Is it cheaper if you buy more?
There's
No.
no bulk
Ah.
discount, but there's guys that do whiskey reviews,
Yeah.
and they're always squishy facing and suspect of the Kirkland signature, and then every time they're like, "Fuck, you can't go wrong with this.
Really?
How much is this? This is that much for a freaking no." That can't
No
be true.
way.
And that-
Really?
their vodka,
yeah.
their tequila, like, it's all like, woo, yeah.
The
Huh.
vodka, for example, is, and it's all
Well,
Kirkland
vodka's
brand.
hard to. It's
Well,
hard
no,
to
there's-
taste difference, right?
there's a
is-
vodka that's a tall one
Yeah.
for like $14, and it's product of France, and it's literally right next to the Grey Goose distillery.
$20 for a handle. And
Oh
it's Grey
no
Goose, man.
shit!
Yeah, and I mean, how many French vodkas do you know?
None.
And it's literally right next to the Grey Goose distillery. And you're like, okay, Grey Goose or this handle of $20 Costco brand.
Yeah. Yeah. After 3, it's all the same. But, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, which
Sure.
one? Which one? I don't care. Just give me.
I thought you meant
I
Plymouth
remember
Rock.
I was TDY with a couple of lieutenants I was with, and they were Omega Sci-Fi guys, right? They were that frat They were Omega dogs.
Oh yeah.
And we were about to go out, and we had no radio because we were TDY. We just had rooms. And I remember sitting in their room, and they passed a handle from one person to another in this circle for a half. And I was like, Jesus Christ, are you kidding? Go,
I've done
go.
that.
And I was like, fuck, man.
And then you go
And
out.
you just stare at each other. It was the dumbest thing we've ever done. They're like, you ready to go? Please, please, let's go.
Pre-game, Marty. Come on.
Yeah, but it was like a gulag pregame. You know, it was like
Yeah.
you were forced. We got to get this handled now before we go. And it was like, fuck.
Oh,
It's so funny you say that. Going to Italy from Germany, Ryanair, there was a group of Russians in front of us. They had a like 25 or 22 ounce bottle of Coke and a handle of Jack. And I'll be damned if those three dudes didn't finish the handle of Jack, sipping
Wow.
the 20 ounce of Coke. I was like,
So the Coke was
That's
just a
my first
chaser. It
introduction
was
to
just a
Ryanair,
little
man.
chaser, right?
yeah.
Just gonna be a little flavor.
Go.
And it was my ex-wife at the time. I was like, "Are you seeing this?" She's like, "Seeing what?" I'm like, "These motherfuckers are gonna handle this handle before we get on the plane." And they saw me looking. I'm just like, "Yeah." And I remember one was like,
Gotta
"I'm like,
acknowledge
"No, man." Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, what were you gonna do? Nod your head at him? It's like, oh fuck
Yeah.
no,
No,
that's tip the
slow clap.
cap.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Impressive. That's what your story reminded me of.
That's
it.
good. That's good. Let's get into space. From space.com, SpaceX launches giant Starship rocket into space on epic third test flight. Sorry, the way I read that sounded really dumb. But SpaceX, for all their credit, their names are dumb. Yeah, Starship, you couldn't call it something besides Starship? That's dumb, right? Anyway, SpaceX's Starship mega rocket, the world's largest and most powerful rocket, reached orbital speed for the first time last Thursday in a historic third test flight from SpaceX Starbase in Boca Chica, Texas. Do you guys know where Boca Chica is?
Near Brownsville.
Look where Boca Chica is.
It is.
Right outside of fucking South Padre.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
That makes sense.
Wow, that is
Launch.
north of Brownsville, because Brownsville.
Yeah,
South.
yeah.
Wow.
I know. Nice. Hey, you guys done for the day? All right, I'm going to go to the bikini contest that's later this afternoon
Yeah, it's a
at,
bunch of spring breakers.
at Carlos O'Brien's.
Well, they're
Don't worry, I'll be
launching
here
it.
first.
There's no one.
Yeah, they're good.
There's no one down range. You're launching it over
Yeah.
the Gulf.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. Oops, sorry, Jake. I was hiding your face there.
Oh.
I'll leave that up because I'm going back to it. Hundreds of spring break spectators, rocket launch chasers, and SpaceX fans gathered along the southern shores of South Padre Island and surrounding areas to witness the third test flight of the biggest rocket ever built. About 5 miles south of the crowd, SpaceX's massive Starship vehicle lifted off on March 14th at 9:25 Eastern Daylight Time. Starship reached orbital velocity. Actually, this is all kind of boring. Let's see. Elon Musk said, "Congratulations, SpaceX team." Cheers erupted from the South Padre crew as the dim morning sky was illuminated by the ignition of Starship's 33 first-stage Raptor engines. While in space on its suborbital trajectory, SpaceX opened a payload bay door that will be used on later Starship vehicles for deploying Starlink satellites. It also performed an in-space propellant transfer demonstration as part of a NASA contract where it would move propellant from one tank within the vehicle to another. Several minutes later, the vehicle started re-entry. A camera mounted on a flap on Starship provided dramatic images of the re-entry. Telemetry was lost about 49 and a half minutes after liftoff when the vehicle was descending through an altitude of 65 kilometers. SpaceX later said on the webcast that it lost contact, and they speculated the vehicle probably broke up. While the mission did not achieve all its test objectives, the company considered the launch a success.
Nice.
So It's a few minutes, but let me show you the launch because it's pretty cool.
Well, we talked about that
Listen
before. Where
sorry.
no, you're
Go,
good.
Jake. Go ahead.
He sets those milestones, and then if it blows up after that, he's like, "Cool, we already made our goal."
Hey, we
Baby
else is
steps,
gravy.
homie. Baby steps.
you're right,
Yep.
and
Yeah.
we gathered data, and we know what to do on the next one. So this is the third attempt, I believe, of this Starship, and this one actually got into orbit. So, but it's pretty cool. Remember watching launch videos whenever they'd be like Dean Zizis would love to put launch videos on.
Yeah.
And NASA's videos were the most boring videos
Yeah.
ever. There was no enthusiasm. It was
Yeah.
just like, and liftoff out of Vandenberg, and now you can't see it. Like, fuck. But SpaceX is like a rock concert, man. They're like a rock concert. Watch. Check this out. God damn it. Marty.
Damn it,
Killing it, Marty.
Marty lost his mouse.
Listen in.
There we go.
T minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4.
I don't know where the microphones are. Yeah. That's pretty badass. You gotta admit. That looks like
That's a
CGI.
great
That looks like CGI, right?
Yeah,
I think it is.
no
No,
way.
Kind of. It looks like.
pretty sure that's CGI.
But even their display down at the bottom, the left is all their rocket engines. You know,
30
you got
seconds into flight,
speed,
we are
altitude.
feeling the rumble. We are seeing 33 out of 33 Raptor engines ignited on the Super Heavy booster.
Booster and ship, avionics, power, and telemetry nominal. Acquisition of signal, Corpus Christi.
Continuing to
Man,
get
look at
good
it
call
break
outs.
through
Our
that cloud.
trajectory looking
Yeah, that's
nominal.
really
Systems
cool.
looking nominal. Just amazing to see all 33 lit up once again.
And I don't know who they're recording. Is that the South Padre crowd?
At this point,
No,
we've
those are
already passed
fanboys.
through max Q. That
I
maximum
want to say it's the
dynamic
South
pressure.
Padre crowd doing like a wet T-shirt contest. At
And
the
passing
same time,
supersonic, so we're now moving
they're doing a
faster
SpaceX
than the
one.
speed of sound. Getting those onboard views from the ship cameras.
They got brackets betting on it.
Now the next
First
major
stage.
milestone is
all
gonna
right,
be
first
a
stage
hot
comes
staging
off,
maneuver.
panties
Again,
come
we're gonna
off.
Be doing that in just about 90 seconds.
It's
To
not
do
me,
that,
it's the
we're gonna
rules.
shut
That's what
down
Elon said.
all but the 3 center Raptor engines
Ah,
on
damn
Super
you.
Heavy. That'll be our MECO, our most engines cut off. And the
Miko.
clamps holding the 2 stages together are going to release. Starship second stage will ignite its engines. The RVACs
But
first.
just that you can
sea
follow,
levels right after that.
like the
Sea level
attitude of the
engines will
rocket
be
body.
displayed or just kind of pointed
It's
out
really,
at about
really
a
cool.
15-degree angle.
Yeah.
So if you look close and we get good tracking, you might be able to see those center right after. And so those 6 engines will push Starship off of the booster.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, they were talking about this hot,
All right,
hot
counting down now. We're going to
booster
be coming
thing
up
where
right at around the 3-minute
those
mark
engines,
on
the
that
main
hot
engines are
staging
still
maneuver.
ignited, but the booster engines
Again, we'll see the
ignite
booster
as well,
engines
and then
start
push
to shut
out.
down. You'll see
Pushes
all
it.
but 3 lights go out in the middle, and then we'll see the engines ignite on ship, pushing it away, and that will start carrying the ship into space. Booster will start to do its flip and then move into the boost
Look
back
at that.
burn, setting it up for
Badass.
eventual splashdown.
Startup.
Really?
in the
Even
Gulf
the
of Mexico.
display is
Two
badass.
separation.
Oh, no way.
Listen to that crowd.
Step startup.
Hot staging confirmed.
Hot staging. That's it. Hot staging.
Boosters now making its way back, seeing 6 engines ignited on ship. Kate, we got a Starship on its way to space and a booster on the way back to the Gulf.
Oh man, I need a moment to pick my jaw up from the floor because these views are just stunning. These are live views from Starship. First stage is currently performing.
Ship avionics, power and telemetry nominal.
Good there. News informing us that the second stage or the ship, everything looking good, nominal there.
And you
First
see
stage
on
is
that
currently performing the boost back
display where
burn,
they got the
expecting that
body
to
on
last
the
about
left
1 minute. That boost back burn
and the actual Starship on
that
the
boost
right.
back burn propels the booster back towards the coast, taking it to a landing in the waters of the Gulf of Mexico.
So that, I mean, it goes on, but I thought that
But you
first initial stuff was pretty cool to watch.
You can watch. I like it when the rockets are individually, like the engines are turned on.
Yeah, they lit up.
And you're like,
yeah.
Didn't none of our previous missiles? It would always break apart, and then it would ignite, right?
Yeah, that's what I think so, and that's what they were talking about. That hot staging is that they're firing while the other engines are still firing. I guess.
Yeah.
So,
Man,
just
that's cool.
the advances that they're able to make because they're willing that if it doesn't go right, they'll just do it right down the next one. I mean, that's why SpaceX is just when you got a civilian company in charge and you don't have a whole bunch of government red tape. That's why I mean that's got to be the overall,
impressive.
right? That's got to be the overall.
Yeah.
Anyway, thought you guys would enjoy that. I wouldn't have watched that if it hadn't been for this podcast. So.
Oh man.
I'm not that much of a goof. But you remember there was commanders when we worked back then. They're like, "Oh, we got to put the launch up." And I was like, "What are they launching?" They're like, "No, I don't care."
Yeah, and Nike. Get out of here.
It's a recycled MX missile, so they're gonna put it up there.
Sirius XM satellite.
It's true.
That's right.
It's Cambridge Community College online launching something.
They got a science experiment. Okay, last story. We've talked on the show many times about would you recommend service to your kids or whatever that was. Well, a recent survey by a group called Blue Star Family. So there's a website, bluestarfamilies.org. They confirm a lot of what we said. So this article is from stripes.com. The Blue Star Family Survey finds considerable reluctance for recommending military life. I know. Military families are growing increasingly unlikely to recommend an armed forces career to loved ones, with fewer than 1/3 of respondents in the largest annual survey of military life saying they would do so. Blue Star Families this week released the 2023 Military Family Lifestyle Survey, which saw only 32% of participants answer likely to a question about how keen they are on recommending service in the armed forces to a family member. That compares with 55% in the 2016 survey. So 7 years ago, they were much higher on it.
Yeah.
A roughly equal number, 31%, responded that they are unlikely to recommend military service, and the report did not say how the remaining third answered. The poll captured responses from more than 7,400 people worldwide, including active duty military personnel, National Guard and Reserve members, veterans, and their families. It was conducted from May to July 2023. So, what do you think are some of the issues? Well,
man, that's a lot. Like,
yeah,
they
that's
interviewed
a third, at least a third.
So active duty, I can understand. Like, they could have a bad day and they're still in. But Guard and Reserve, and then retirees, it's getting to be nostalgic. Oh yeah, maybe but only 30%.
Well, in all fairness, too, it doesn't break down by rank, right? I mean,
that's a small sample size too, man. Like, I feel like
sure, but if there was 6,000 E4s and below, they're pissed.
Yeah. So it makes sense to an extent. So, like, we moved here in 2018, and they had just combined Army and Air Force medical, I believe. And I have a good friend who's now in the Space Force as an O1E. He was biomedical equipment, and he said it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad for everybody.
Like, he knew that back then.
He knew. And I was taken back because I was TRICARE Prime at the time, and I'm a
Sure.
retiree, and they said you have to be seen at Fort Carson because of your zip code.
Oh, I
I'm like,
forgot about that down
I'm a
south. That's right.
retiree.
Yeah.
Let's fast forward, and now I'm select. Like I don't deal with it, and it's nothing against the providers, but like I got a friend who said 26 days to see his primary care, and I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah.
but they want me to be seen at the same place as a retiree, like,
Yeah.
But honestly, it's kind of a microcosm of civilian life because it's not. Providers are few and far between. They're starting to become pretty bad.
It is.
for
Right. I agree.
primary care. So,
Yeah.
that it's a microcosm of what we're dealing with, in civilian life as well. Yeah, it sucks. I get it. I get it.
Well,
I mean, we already did the WIC. We've
Sure.
got the military retirement changing to a 401k.
yeah,
You know,
Yeah.
So you still get 40% retirement at 20 years. Just the 10% is 401k. Because I'm only versed in this because I had a individual I was supervising who had the choice, and he said he opted into the 40-10 because they match, and he had a gang of money in there already. I said, okay,
Oh,
that
okay.
makes
Oh,
sense.
yeah.
So like,
Yeah.
it's not, that one is not, I don't think it's a big deal if you're smart, but
but
we
you
talked
got to
about
think
earlier, I don't
about
know
the
if you were
first
recording.
ones.
What?
You got to think you're literally getting a 5% match on airmen. 1 through 4. If you put in 5%, you're getting maybe $1,000 a year.
Are you talking?
kind of
Are you
thing.
talking TSP?
Yeah, it's a cost saving measure. Like, but
Yeah, it
military
is.
retirement's
No,
still there. It's just not
the-
what it was.
yeah.
But
Marty,
here's. Oh, go
not
ahead,
the
Jake.
TSP. It's the new retirement.
Oh, okay.
But
Kevin's
it's
right.
through TSP. All government stuff is
Yeah.
through TSP.
But
Unless you're a congressman, you could just roll the dice.
roll this thing back. Roll this thing back 20 years ago. So now you're on your first enlistment, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that. That sucked. It was like, I am eating on base because it's cheaper. I mean, fuck.
We talked about that problem though. That's the issue. Is on-base services have been deteriorating.
They've cut them. They've cut them too because of BRAC.
Army's the worst. Like,
Right?
Army brethren, man, I am sorry. I don't know what the hell they're doing to you, but like
Well,
I'm sorry.
on WTF Nation Radio, they talk about they're introducing these kiosk things now. That's a cost saving measure. I don't know how it works, but they apparently nobody likes them. But all this cost saving stuff. Remember, were you guys there when cost saving for BRAC meant cutting the dining facility?
Yeah.
Remember when they cut that? That was ridiculous. And that had no airmen on the forefront of what they were thinking of. They were just like, I got to get under this number. That's a perfect cost cut. So no more dining facility. We'll give you vouchers.
That's Army though, because I don't think the Air Force did that.
No, the Air Force did that. They did it at Buckley.
Yeah, they did it.
The dining hall used to be wherever that Buckley Panthers Den, whatever that was.
Yeah.
They cut that because they had to get under a BRAC number.
And I know it sounds ridiculous to civilians, but I remember back in almost every single chow hall I'd ever been in, is that there was always a random old couple or a random it was normally like old people. There was random military retirees at a booth that would literally, you'd go to the chow hall with your family and with your wife. You're like, we're on base. We can go to the chow hall and any chow hall. And now there's very limited hours. There's very limited services.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
If it's even open, right?
Yeah. But it was a place to go. back in the day.
True.
Honestly,
Right. I agree.
Hey, bring that back. Watch that survey change. Like the base services have
Oh yeah. Yeah.
been bad.
I mean, at the very least, you could go to a bowling alley. You get a burger and a couple games, and it'd be all under
Vandenberg's
like
bowling
10,
alley,
15
Jay.
bucks, right?
Woo, yeah.
Vandenberg-
Vandenberg's bowling alley
Yeah.
is money.
But they have
Yeah.
none of that because they've shut it all down.
Yeah.
Right? They've shut
Actually,
all that shit down.
actually, Trudy and Yarborough used to always walk over to on Peterson, walk over to the bowling alley and do like once a week. They would bowl a set. If you got the special,
Yeah.
you would get like a burger
Yeah.
and fries, and then you could bowl one game.
We used to go all the time.
For what?
Lunch break,
For
whatever.
20 bucks, maybe?
Like
Yeah.
$12,
Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah,
Like,
it
it's
was
fucking-
cheap.
yeah.
Well, and for those who aren't listening, an E4 right now with 6 years experience, all right,
That's
makes an
yeah.
annual salary of $38,000.
Yeah.
So, roll that around. With 2,000, they make about 32,000.
that's
so
6
with 2 years
years
experience
in.
or something like that. Right, that's 6 years in,
that's
and
6
you're making
years in,
38. So
What? A third of your freaking enlistment, like
Yeah.
full career if you go 20.
well, let's see. How much is
It goes back to give them better options on base, man. Like let them go the DFAC. Jake, you're absolutely right. Like the DFAC of Vandenberg again was really good. Like
Dude.
yeah, pasta bar. I remember like
Yeah.
all this stuff. Like open it up, expand
Yeah.
it, open it up to the public. Like
Well-
there's a big issue with that.
I think it's also in the levels of bureaucracy. Just somebody wants full control over something.
sure?
Because you're right, Teapot, that Vandenberg DFAC was great. And we would always go in there and we would always make sure to get salsa because it was like legit fresh made salsa
Right.
Yeah.
on your
They
omelet.
did a lot
like
of
it was
work on
pico
it,
de
yeah.
gallo.
Yeah.
And then one day we come in and it's like a tub of paste on,
Yeah.
at the far end. And we're
Oh,
like,
because they just
New-
dumped it out. Oh, they didn't
New
make
York
it fresh.
City. What the hell? No, big Mother Air Force said you cannot make your own. You have to buy the approved ones.
Yeah, exactly. That's your
You know,
red
like-
tape, what you were talking about. So going back to an E4 with 6 years in makes 38 grand a year. You know how much $20 an hour is on an annual salary? $41,000. So that E4,
After 6 years experience.
that E4 with 6 years experience is making less than the guy working at Robinhood on the
But-
base.
But do they have medical benefits? Like there's a lot to take in there. So that's an asterisk. I'm sorry.
I hear you.
It's still
You just
not
got
great.
done putting a huge asterisk on all the medical benefits.
But you're an E4 who just got married, right?
Yeah.
Who bought a 19% interest car right off
Well,
base.
Dodge Charger, right? Yeah, come on now.
That's right.
And that's what I think that's what this survey is getting at, because I don't think big military is doing any kind of surveys like this because they know what they're going to get back.
Right.
I think so.
Yeah, I think
But-
so.
I don't know, man. Is the grass greener?
Well, no, but I
Well,
I think they're trying to get a snapshot of the people in, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So they say factors driving the decline include quality of life issues and financial hardships, according to respondents. For military spouses, employment was the biggest concern for the seventh consecutive year. Now, I must be honest, I don't understand the issue with spouse employment. I really don't understand it.
I don't know.
Are
if
they
they're-
talking about employment on the base or post?
No, it must be career-oriented people who can't get hired because they know they're married to military. Like
Maybe.
if they're applying
Okay,
to Starbucks
maybe. All
or
right.
like King Supers, like you're going to get hired. It's those career-oriented people, right?
But if they're like, hey, if we bring you onto this software development team or something, and we're working on this big project, but you're married to an active duty guy and you're probably going to
Yeah.
be gone in 3 years.
Right.
Okay, I get that. I understand that.
I think that's
part.
where that's coming from.
Okay, all right.
And a lot of military spouses that I've ran into are nurses that are in the nursing career field, and that's
That one I don't
mean,
understand because nurses
Nurses
always
will
a need
always
for
get
nurses, right?
yeah, but you've got seniority, right? You're building your way up
Oh,
in
yeah,
4
good
years.
Yeah,
You can
yeah,
choose
yeah.
now day shifts. You can choose
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good
whatever.
point.
I'm
Right,
moving
right.
on to,
Oh yeah, we'll hire you, but you'll be working mids for a year until
or
somebody
as
else
soon
moves
as you
out.
get there, we're like, choof, and all your
Yeah,
seniority's
yeah.
gone. You got to start
Yeah.
over there.
Also, one of the primary worries for active duty service members, according to the survey, is the lack of affordable child care, difficulty accessing military health care, and relocation challenges were cited by families as concerns. Respondents were asked to select up to 5 military life issues that most concern them right now. The top concern of 53% of active duty spouses was employment, followed by military pay at 38%. For service members, 46% selected time away from family, okay, with pay coming in next at 40%. The survey found that only 20% of spouses who need someone to look after their kids during work hours use base child care centers, and only 5% use base certified family care providers. So they're not using what the base is offering.
Yeah, that's
interesting.
Well,
an issue.
Or they have to wait, or they're on the wait
list. God, the wait list.
Man,
that's
it's
right.
insane. And here's what's bullshit is they don't do anything outside of normal ops hours.
Right.
90% of our guys work crew. Right? If you're
Air Force is crew.
If you're any of that, you're flying. Like, you need outside of normal hours childcare, and that doesn't happen.
I remember the debates about what crew schedule we should do and what crew hours we should do.
Yeah.
And some of the higher ups were so immune to go, well, let's just have them start at 7. Let's have them start at 8. Let's have them start at 6. And it's like, there's daycare, dudes.
Yeah, dude.
People got to coordinate their lives. You just can't make a shift up because it suits you. That was so frustrating.
And they would put us coming into work right when rush hour was going on.
Perfectly when rush hour was.
Just start an hour early.
Hey, how come you're late for changeover all the
12.
time?
Just start it at 4. Start it at 5. You know.
Right. I mean, go 6 to 6 or go 8 to 8. You know, either way, it's better than trying to shove in 7 to 7. All right, let's finish this up. Almost 3/4, 73% of active duty family respondents who live in civilian housing, regardless of ownership status, pay well over $200 per month in housing costs out of pocket, despite service housing allowances.
So that's by law, right? Like they scaled that back.
They did. Right. You're right. I think you're right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So it's 90%, right? It wasn't 100% that we were used to.
Right. It wasn't like, oh, some breaks, you fix it. It was like, God damn it. Well, I guess I ain't fixing it until I move out. So,
housing is so fickle, man. It sucks. Like
it sucks.
I've never been to,
depending on what part of the country you are.
Army ports are at. Yeah, like it.
No.
I can't imagine California.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit, good luck.
All the southern stuff, right,
Yeah.
is all rotting and deteriorating.
Mm-hmm.
All the northern stuff is all cinder block. It's like fuck. I don't know how was billets in Alaska when you were up there, Jake?
I was in the dorms for the first 2 years, and they were great. I mean, dorms were just fine, but they were all one. Like, you had indoor hallways. We didn't. The first time I ever saw like outdoor hallways was was at Vandenberg.
Till you cross-trained.
Till I cross-trained, and I was like, well, I didn't even think about it. Nobody wants to walk around in the winter in Alaska or have that many exposed doors. So it was all
That's
we would
right.
have huge parties in those freaking hallways, man.
Oh, yeah,
But
because you didn't have to go
it
into the
was
room. You
decent.
could just be, and you were
Yeah.
inside. Yeah. It
Yeah.
was all,
Yeah, it was great.
I mean, where else?
I mean, the
was-
building up there was good. I think though that they treated it as an overseas kind of assignment, and
Kind
and
of. Right.
yeah,
Because you are kind of geographically separated, but you're
yeah,
still.
and
Kind of.
they take those locations like they're better. Honestly, the camaraderie on base is better. The club on base
Yeah.
is better.
Yeah,
People are more likely to stay on base,
sure.
and there's activities, and there's, I mean, just like
That's-
Kevin was saying, that was my first assignment. People would go to the club on Friday,
Mhm.
Right.
and then they would
You
close
couldn't.
the
You couldn't
club
wait for the
down.
day to be over because you knew where you were going.
Oh yeah,
30 minutes
and
later. you
I
were
mean
there.
they would
Yeah.
literally close the club down, like, and they
Right.
were like, "Oh, what NCO's house are we going to, or are we going back
Right,
to the
right.
dorms?"
That's how
You know?
Fort Polk was. Fort Polk was where I lived was in a dry parish or dry county.
Yeah,
And that made for the best party because that's
Yeah,
where
you have
you
to
had,
say getting a base. Yeah.
yeah, you just have to prep everything and make sure
Yeah.
you buy at the bar on the parish line, you know?
Yep.
That bar made a mint.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
Okay, well, it's tough. I think joining up is fine, but if you're trying to have a family like most guys do when they're early, god damn, I don't know how
Not
you can
me.
afford that shit
Yeah.
nowadays, man. To be honest with you.
now if you're single and you want to just, and you're kind of aimless, really, they will guarantee you have food and a job and a place to stay,
Well, yeah, if you're a dorm rat,
and you can find
yeah,
your way for the first couple of years.
right,
Mhm.
right.
I would fully encourage
I
somebody
agree.
that
I agree.
was just aimless after high school, wandering around basically.
Hey, go
I would
do
fully
this.
encourage.
You'll get a VA loan.
Yeah.
You'll get health care for a little while, and then you can go off on. So
Get your TA,
Yeah,
tuition
that's right.
assistance.
that's right.
That's a big thing.
And who knows? You might be an Audie Murphy, baby. Join at 16. Look at you.
Right?
Okay, last story. Now, this was a surprise, okay? And it's short. And I don't normally do these kind of stories, so it's non-military, but it'll come back.
Oh.
So,
Oh,
all right.
Eric is furious. He's
Yeah.
got a rash right now out of
Oh, I
range.
know. I know he is. I know he does. I hope he does.
Non-military
But he won't
stuff.
hear it because he has no service. He won't hear it for 7 more
Yeah.
days. So,
Right.
okay. So this is from Fox News, reposted in the NewYorkPost.com. Overnight camping at a California beach banned thanks to excess of human waste. Overnight camping at a beach along California's central coast is banned due to an excess of human waste, officials said. The California Coastal Commission announced Thursday that overnight camping and campfires will be banned at San Carpoforo Beach for the next 2 years. San Carpoforo, or San Carpo, is located off Highway 1 in northern San Luis Obispo County,
Yep.
about a 4-hour drive from San Francisco. It is the only beach campsite in the Big Sur area, a fact not widely known. Oh, it's the only free beach campsite in the Big Sur area, a fact not widely known until recently. The commission detailed the deteriorating quality of the beach in a staff report recently made available. The report noted that more visitors frequented the campsite once word spread it was free. A lack of resources for the U.S. Forest Service to monitor the site and a lack of trash cans, restrooms, and fire rings have led to higher levels of trash and debris, the report said. The beach has no restrooms, very limited parking, no potable water, and no trash containers or collection, the commission wrote in the staff report. The area is home to a number of endangered animals, such as
Snowy
the
plover.
western snowy plover,
Oh, that little motherfucker. I'll tell you what.
which have been
Close
harmed by
motherfucking
the
beaches, man.
by the beach's
Come on.
deteriorating conditions. What is so special about this fucking
Dude,
bird, man.
Getting on that
tell me.
bird.
Somebody give me a reason why. Like,
Why? What does it do for us?
What is their importance?
What
Like,
does this do for us?
give me the 27 steps to Kevin Bacon. I'll fucking take it, but give me something, man. I've got nothing.
So for those listening, when I came into space in 2000, I think I went to
damn
EUST, and Vandenberg Air Force Base is Central Coast, and they're like, hey, you can't go on these beaches because there's an endangered species of bird called the snowy plover, so those beaches are closed. That was 2000, they said that. And now they're saying it in 2024.
They're
And
not
that
doing a
little
really
prick.
good job at restoration, are they?
So from what I understand, they'll lay their
Clearly.
egg, and if they hear anything, scared, like they're gone. Those eggs are abandoned. Like
and
That's
they
the
lay their
dumbest
eggs
species in the world, then.
sand.
just give me a
It's
reason.
on the sand dune. Literally,
Yeah.
that egg is on a sand dune.
Is that where they nest? Is on
Yes.
the sand?
Yeah.
On the sand. And that's why you can't walk around on the beach. You can't make all kinds of noise.
Well, apparently they're shitting all over their nests and their beer bottles and whiskey bottles all over their nests. And the snowy
advertise
plover's like,
free.
hey! Stupid.
You know what? I'm gonna research this. I'm gonna start looking into it. Why? Maybe there's some 27th order effects we don't know about. But dude, like
Yeah.
at some point, you just got to be like, look, like pandas are cute. They're cute. They don't occupy a lot. Like I get why you want to keep them alive.
Sure.
But like snowy plovers,
It's denying all of California's beaches.
Just saying no to the plover, huh?
Crazy.
yeah.
Go way of the dodo.
The snowy Nover.
Meanwhile, I'm thinking, hey, California management, why the hell are all the other beaches costing money? And
Yeah. Right.
if
right.
you advertise that this one was free, why do you not have any facilities there? Like it's a state
right.
beach. You don't have even a drop toilet there.
Nothing.
You don't have something
Yeah, nothing.
like dug in the like. Give me
Yeah.
something, man.
I mean, but even
just
if
give us-
even if it's a day beach, well,
And then they're
you
like-
got kids, you know. What are
Exactly.
you gonna do? Yeah, you just tossing diapers, or you packing
Well,
your trash? You know what?
Alhama Beach is free.
You know,
Alhama,
Alhama Beach,
Yeah.
man.
Alhama Beach.
That's a hell of a road to get back there.
Best burger I ever had, man. Dude,
It was a good burger.
memories.
Tell you
bro.
what,
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Alhama
try-
burger.
I'm gonna try to get a picture of Red Fox for my background next time,
Yeah, do it.
if there's any that exists on the internet. So who knows?
Yeah, isn't it? It changed though, didn't it?
Yeah, it's sold many times, I think, but when I was there, it was Red Fox. So
Well, I've got to pee. I love you guys.
wait,
Yeah.
wait, just hold on.
Sorry,
hold on.
Hold
Sorry,
on.
We'll call-
Here we go.
We'll call end up. Just for
Jeez.
Teapot. All right.
Thank you.
On behalf of all of us here, I'd like to thank you for listening today. Please like, share, and subscribe. Let us know how we did in the comments. And make sure next week that you are not late for changeover. Men, thanks for the week. And I'll see you next week. Or I will see you next week, Jake. You won't be here.
Yeah,
I'll
we're
be here.
road tripping, man.
So
I'll be here, buddy.
thanks for listening, everyone who is listening. And we'll see you next week.
For all your odds on whether Teapot's going to show up or not, contact our sponsor, DraftKings.
Oh, that's good.
Where prohibited, blah, 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 blah.
So what's the odds on him? I think is minus
50-50
100.
at best.
I'm going to shower again. I'm going to be fucking done up. All right.
Whoa.
Love y'all. I got to
Look at
pee
you.
so bad. Have a wonderful.
Thanks, buddies. We'll see you next week.
Yeah, man.
Have fun, Teapot.